Hello there, folks. It's Mikael. I'm getting my camera all set up and my recording equipment. And I'm excited because of a couple reasons. One of them, hold on a second. Let me lift this up just a bit. There we go. Hi, welcome. I'm excited today to continue what I've been doing off and on in kind of a little bit of an unorganized way the last year. About a year and a half ago in February, I joined on to Insight Timer, and I started doing some live classes there, and it was really fun. I mean, I did over 125 two-hour courses on Insight Timer, and then I realized I really wanted to be able to engage more with my audience. So I this year made it a goal to be able to do some live streams on my Facebook group as well as on my YouTube channel, which now has over 1,700 subscribers. So I'm very excited to do this new platform, and I purchased a software this past week and I had some glitches with it. So I'm hoping that people can find me through my Facebook page, which is Solutions for Moving Beyond Struggle, or on my YouTube channel, which is Soul-utions Spirituality. And what Soul-utions is, just for those of you jumping on here, getting ready to connect, I'm assuming you can see me on here. I'm trying to see if there's a way to see who's on, but I don't see that right now. Okay. Let's see. If you have any questions, feel free to stream them here. Like I said, I am learning how to make all this fit together so that I can do more live classes and to reach out to the audience, to reach out to people for a couple of reasons. You know, we're living in a world that is rapidly, increasingly intensifying and challenging people to change the way they think, they feel, they act, and they behave, to change the way they believe about themselves and about the world at large. We're all being stretched to become more, to evolve, to grow. As the world is evolving, as the world is growing, as the world is expanding, we too must update our own mental emotional software. And so this topic on freedom from the past is specifically geared to help you to understand not only your relationship with yourself now, but how to have some practical tools that you can use to expand and shift your consciousness. Now, I know a lot of people think, oh, that sounds like a lofty goal. What is this expanding consciousness? What is consciousness? Well, consciousness is who you are. You're a conscious being. But there are certain boundaries or certain perimeters, if you'd like, or certain issues that can conflict in these boundaries, that can cultivate and change and shift who you perceive yourself to be. So your consciousness is made up of your attitude. The attitude that you have is the overall general perception of yourself, other people, and the world at large. And everyone has their own unique attitude about those three things. And if you can understand your current attitude and shift and change it, it will cascade and influence the next level of consciousness, which is your beliefs. So your attitude and your beliefs work together. The attitude is the container of your consciousness that colors, that taints, that influences all of your beliefs. And then, from that standpoint, your attitude and your beliefs step down. They step down to create your thoughts and your feelings. And this is the area, your thoughts and feelings, that we're going to focus on today. Because depending on your thoughts and feelings are going to depend upon the outcome of the realities that you create. And the good news is your thoughts and feelings are something you're more conscious of than your beliefs and attitudes. Now you can get a sense of your attitude. Are you a positive or a negative person? Do you have hope for the future, or do you go into the, well, let's wait and see what happens? But the foundation of your consciousness is your attitudes, your beliefs that precipitate into your thoughts and your feelings. And it's from those thoughts and feelings that you look at the options available, the choices that are there for you. And then from those choices, you decide you make a decision. So that's the container or the framework of your consciousness that you can shift and change. Now, your consciousness is much more than just this framework. Beyond it is your imagination, your creativity, your intuition, your sense of passion and commitment, your sense of love and understanding. All of that is a part of your consciousness. But today we're going to focus on upgrading your software in order to free yourself from the past, in order to break free from the limitations that you've placed upon yourself. Now, I know a lot of people think, no, I didn't place this upon myself. Well, ultimately we do. Now, what I mean by that is we come into each life with lessons to learn. We come into each life with not only lessons to learn, but with opportunities to grow. And with those opportunities to grow and those lessons to learn, you can expand. You can expand and not only change your consciousness, but you can expand and change your reality. So I'd like to begin to help you understand a few things here. And the first thing is, how am I going to shift my attitude? What is my attitude about life in general? What is my attitude about myself? What is my attitude about the world at large? And right now we've been in a crisis in our world. With the pandemic, with the issues going on there, we've been in a crisis. And many people have shut down and deteriorated their relationship with the outside world due to fear and due to their feeling of being powerless over a circumstance that has become a pandemic. And not only is the pandemic of the coronavirus out there, it's also a pandemic of fear and a pandemic of control. And when you can see the relationship between that and begin to recognize and realize within your personal world, what is your awareness, what is your perception of your personal world? Your attitude about your personal reality. Do you feel safe at home? Do you feel safe with those loved ones around you? Do you feel safe? And you want to start where it's comfortable. You want to start there because you see, when you can expand your perception of yourself as either being powerful or powerless, that is what's going to influence your attitude and thus change your relationship to the past. Because all of us, regardless of our upbringing, every one of us has had conflicts in consciousness from our past that has limited us and our beliefs about ourselves. And it was a necessary part of our path. It was a necessary part of our growth. So understanding this is so essential in healing and becoming more, and also from unlocking the door and setting yourself free. Setting yourself free from the limiting beliefs and attitudes, the thoughts and feelings that hold you down. And thus, once you change your consciousness, your reality changes. Once you change your consciousness, your reality shifts and changes. And that's what you're going to learn a little bit about in this live video course today. So, what is the fulcrum? What is the engaging point? How do you begin to change your relationship with your consciousness? Well, as I mentioned, your attitudes and beliefs have the boundaries. And in them, what you do day in and day out is your thoughts and your feelings. And I'm going to teach you how to begin to shift and change your thoughts and feelings, to shift and alter your beliefs and to improve your attitude, but then to open up new possibilities of opportunities for the future. To open up new opportunities, not only to become more, but to fulfill your empowered destiny. So, in this process, we're going to update your mental software. Now that sounds like a tall order for an hour class here, but you'll have the tools and you'll have an understanding of how it works. And then as you apply these tools, not only can you improve the quality of your life, but you can change. You can change at a level with a greater sense of freedom, with a greater sense of elegance and ease. So to Influence your thoughts and feelings is the first way to begin to update your mental software. Now, if you think about it, when you look at your computer or you look at your iPad or your phone, how often do you update the software? 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 times a year. They have a new and improved version. So you're used to updating your technical software, and today the challenge is to update your mental emotional software. Because ask yourself, when was the last time you updated your consciousness, you updated your mental emotional software? For most people, they've never even considered it. Oh yeah, they've dabbled in trying to be positive and trying to change their perspective, being more patient, being more willing and open, all those things that can shift your consciousness, but they don't really focus on the programming that is limiting and holding you back from your potential. And so during this talk, I'm going to help you to do that. And we're going to stop and have questions, but I don't see any chat or questions on here, so I'm not even 100% sure this is live, but I'm going to trust that it is. Because either way, I'm recording this, and this is going to be available for people, whether it's directly on here live right now, or whether it is something that will be a video that I can post onto the Soul-utions Facebook group, and also onto YouTube here. So let's talk about updating your mental emotional software. As I mentioned, attitudes and beliefs create the space, the container, the boundaries of which thoughts emerge and which feelings connect. Your thoughts and feelings are emotion. Your emotion is your thought and your feelings. Because every emotion has a specific thought that engenders a physical, emotional response. Every thought you think creates a reaction physically and emotionally. So much so that you know that just thinking and being embarrassed in front of somebody, some people blush right away. In that instant, their cheeks get red because they had a thought of embarrassment and a feeling, and it produced a physical, instantaneous response. Our thoughts are always influencing our physical form and always influencing our emotional body. And it's from the emotional body and the physical form that you experience reality. So if you want to change your reality, of your physical form, your biochemistry, and also your relationship with other people, which is what the emotional body connects with, it's imperative to learn how to manage your mind. And how to manage your mind, and the easiest tool to work with, is to become conscious of the words that you speak. Because your words are the manifestation of your thoughts and feelings. Your words are the manifestation of your beliefs and attitudes. Your attitudes, beliefs, thoughts, and feelings all precipitate and is expressed through the words that you speak. And it's so important to be more conscious as we move forward, as you want to free yourself from the past and to step into a more empowered experience of living life, is to become conscious of the words. And I'm going to give you some very valuable tools that I've worked with clients over the last 35 years that has made instantaneous changes in their life. And there's 3 magic words that I'm going to teach you during this talk today that can also really help you to not only improve the quality of your life, but to shift not only your thoughts and feelings, but your beliefs and attitudes about yourself. So as we update your mental software, the way to do it is to begin to understand the power of words. The words that you speak, the thoughts that you think, and the feelings that you have. So you take those thoughts and feelings and then you ground them by giving voice, giving energy, expressing those into the physical world through your words. You express your emotional body into the world through your auric field all the time. And it's your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and attitudes that are charging and influencing your presence. And it's your auric field that is the electromagnetic life force energy that then attracts similar beliefs or attracts similar experiences that align with those beliefs and attitudes that you hold. With a thought you keep thinking over and over again, it attracts opportunities for you to feel that way, to think that way, to support your beliefs and attitudes. So when you begin to change and update your mental software, you're going to change your reality. And so let's talk about the words, the self-talk that you do in your head silently, the silent words that you speak, but also the words that you speak to others about yourself. This morning I was on the phone call with a client from Germany, and she was talking to me, and she said something about she's looking for a job, and I'm helping her to manifest and create a new job. And she was talking about, and it just kind of came out of her mouth very, very simply and easily. She said, "Yeah, I'm so stupid about," and I said, "Wait a second, back up, stop. Where did you come up with this, I'm so stupid?" And she stopped and said, "Oh, I say that all the time." I said, "Is it true?" And she's a brilliant woman who works for these mega companies and has done so well in her life. And it's an old pattern conditioning that, as we talked and unraveled it, came from the fact that her father, and when I was tuning into her, I sensed around the age of 8, but I asked her, "Where did you get that from?" She knew immediately. She said, "Oh, my father always called me, you stupid child." Her father kept telling her, "You stupid child, you're my stupid child, you're such a stupid child." And this 8-year-old is taking that in and held the attitude that I'm not enough. And a belief that, why am I not enough? Because I'm stupid. And therefore her thoughts and feelings, and hear this, and her way of trying to control and hide that was to become super successful. To try to convince not her father anymore, who passed away years ago, but the authority figures, the men, the company, corporate, presidents, and the people that run these big major companies. They were her new father, that she was trying to prove she wasn't stupid, and she was not. She's brilliant. But that motivation all originated from the age of 7 to 8, when she was very vulnerable, and her father started calling her his stupid child. And that had impact on her. "Is it true?" I asked her. She said, "No." I said, "So why are you holding on to that old program?" Because she didn't understand that, first of all, that it was a problem. It's just the way she's identified with herself. But her words kept reinforcing it, but the way she just slipped it out by telling me that during our session. And so my point being, excuse me, my point being is we've got to become more conscious of these words, because they are going to have major impact, not just in your biochemistry, but in your presence, in your auric field, and what you attract and create. And so she spent most of her life trying to, make up for that, not being stupid, which she's brilliant. She's so smart and so creative and so amazing, but she never felt it. And that was her impetus to keep, trying to prove to her father, even though he wasn't around, but the authority figures, the male dominating figures in her life, which are often in our jobs, to get their validation that she wasn't stupid. So anyways, we did some work, and I told her how to work with the shame and giving it back to her father and making shifts. But my point being is, one of the ways to begin to update your mental software is to work the magic of the words that you speak. Now, when I mean work the magic of the words that you speak, what does that mean, Mikhail? Well, that means to become conscious of several different keys that I'm going to give you to unlock your mind and to update your mental software. The first key is identification. Now, when we say the word my or mine, we are taking ownership. Our subconscious mind, from the time we're little, holds on to anything that we claim or think is mine, and it makes it difficult to let go of it. So when you say my headaches, my pain, my depression, my insomnia, my stupidity, my irresponsibility, you're claiming and anchoring a belief and an attitude about yourself. And so you want to be very conscious of what you're claiming. Instead of saying my pain or my headaches or my insomnia, you can say, I experience headaches, I experience pain, I experience insomnia, but it's not mine. I'm not claiming it. I'm not holding on to it. I'm not going to do that to myself. Now, because of this key of mine or my, when you say those words, you don't want to associate it with any negativity or anything you desire to change in your life. You don't want to attach those two words, to preface those two words with anything you want to change. So when you find or you catch yourself doing that, when you come out and say, oh yeah, my headaches, oh, stop. Cancel. Tell your brain what you want. I want to cancel that thought. Cancel it. Void that thought. And then say, I'm experiencing headaches right now. That's different than my headaches, because the mind is claiming them as a part of your image, your identity, and when you identify with something, you make it more difficult to change it. Now, likewise, in the reverse, you want to be able to do a similar thing, using those two words, my and mine, for positive, empowering words, things that you want to ground and own within yourself. For instance, my creativity is more powerful than I'm experiencing creativity, or my love, or my commitment and devotion, or my enthusiasm. So you want to use my and mine for positive things you want to expand in your reality, that you want to make more real. And you want to not use my or mine for any condition or situation or experience that you're trying to diminish or let go of. So that's one of the keys to begin to update your mental software. Now, in previous classes and courses, and on my course library, I have a class on how to change your beliefs. So I'm not going to go into that today, but I'm going to be adding more of these details to some of those courses. That's why I offer it for you for free on here, but these are going to be broken into small videos that I can add to some of my online courses. My courses, and you can take a look at if you're interested in, are at the website www.movingbeyondstruggle.com. And I have several courses out there right now that you can explore. But that's just a little quote infomercial before we dive into the second key of updating your mental software, working the magic of words. So the first principle is to be conscious of when you claim my or mine. You even think about it from a little kid. You know, they often, as little kids, they identify with, this is my toys, that's my seat, this is my, even in public, as adults, people say, oh, that's my seat. It's a public place, it's not your seat, but they claim it, trying to think and hold on to it is what they're trying to do, is to hold on to it. So when you use my or mine, use it to hold on to the positive, the empowering, and the things you want to expand, not the things you want to let go of. That's the first key. The second key is to be conscious of the words you say. If you say, every day and every way I'm getting better and better. Okay, well, that's great. Your subconscious mind is like asleep. But you want to use intensity. So the first key was identifying with my or mine. The second key is intensifying the words, to give them a charge, to give them energy, to give them something that engages and wakes up your subconscious mind. You want words that are vivid and juicy, words that grab your attention that you don't say in everyday life. So in other words, and a good example of this in the negative is swear words. When people say swear words, you da 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 da, that intensifies those words in that statement, and it gets people's attention, right? It gets your attention. Your subconscious mind goes ding, 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 ding. They're really angry. They're upset. There's an intensity because of the swear word. So in the negative sense, swearing, you friggin', I'm going to use the word friggin' instead of the real word, you friggin' idiot, you friggin' stupid person, you friggin' loser, whatever you say. That word, that swear word before the other word intensifies it. And that's the negative, okay? Just like my and mine and claiming, my headaches, my insomnia, my disease, my illness, whatever, is claiming it. You don't want to do that. You want to say, I'm experiencing those things. And then you want to claim the things that you do want. Well, in this section, you want to also intensify what you do want. But you intensify them by using juicy, engaging, descriptive words. Like, for instance, you want to say, not that I am confident, but I have outstanding confidence. I have outstanding confidence. I am so completely loved. I am so completely connected. I am fantastically creative. See, fantastically, outstanding, incredible. I'm incredibly loving. I'm incredibly connected to people. Use words that charge and get your subconscious mind's attention. Ding, 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 ding. Hey, pay attention. They don't use those words very often. Let me listen to what they're saying, because your subconscious mind is always recording your words, your thoughts, your feelings, and impressing upon your beliefs and attitudes, shifting and changing and altering them by the words that you speak. So you want to, in this second section, the second key is to use intensifying words, words that intensify. And as I mentioned, negative intensity words, you can say whatever swear word you want, but it doesn't have to be a swear word. It can just be a negative word. I'm incredibly stupid. I'm so friggin' irresponsible. Those intensify the statement, and it deepens and roots it into your subconscious mind, making it more difficult for you to change. But as you update your mental software by using the second key, by intensifying words that engages your subconscious mind and connects you with the empowering future that you desire. So that's the second key. First key, when you use my or mine, make sure it's something you want to claim and keep going. You want to let go of using that and either say, I'm experiencing, or I had this experience, but I'm not claiming it as something I want. Second key is to give it more intensity, give it more juice by adding descriptive words to your statements. And as like I said before, every day and every way I'm getting better and better. Whippy, right? But if you say, every day in every way I'm becoming incredibly healthy and strong. Oh, subconscious mind wakes up, healthy and strong, incredibly healthy and strong, or I'm becoming super successful. Super, that's a word you don't use in everyday life. So you want to charge your affirmations with something that has juice to it. And there's only one exception to that, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, but I'll make that clear when we get to that point. So that's the second key to allowing yourself to update your mental software. Now, folks, I know I'm live here, and I'm going to take a little sip of iced tea. Excuse me. It looks like I am live on YouTube, but I'm not so sure about my Facebook. It doesn't look like that is somehow connecting properly. I might be wrong, but I apologize for that. But this will be available. I'm still getting this technical stuff worked out. I'm slowly getting used to technology, and technology is slowly getting used to me, is what I've said several times, and it's kind of true. So, we begin to know that the bridge to influence and update your software is the words that you speak. You speak and you say words either silently to yourself all day long, and whenever you hear something you're saying that you want to change, you want to give your subconscious mind the message by saying, cancel, cancel. You want to give the subconscious mind the message, say void, and then re-say it the way you want to say it. So if you say, I'm so damn stupid, say, oh, cancel, cancel. No. You would change that word to, I'm incredibly smart, I'm incredibly intelligent, or I'm incredibly creative. You want to change it to what you do want to experience. You see, your conscious mind and your ego says, well, Mikhail, that's not true yet. Yet is the key word. Yes, but you want it to become true. And so you got to plant the seeds. And as you reaffirm that, you're going to start to have more experiences that support it and back it up, where then you can know it. Not only be aware of it and understand it, but you can know it and live it as time goes forward. So let's talk about the third key. The third key is you want to avoid words that disempower you. Victim words is what I call these. Disempowering words. And there are certain words, excuse me, there are certain words that people use often, and what they're giving their subconscious mind is a reinforced message that I'm powerless, I'm weak, I don't know, I don't really believe in myself, I don't know if I can pull this off, I need outside help, I can't do this myself, I'm weak, I'm powerless. These words often convey that. Now, there's always exceptions to the rule, but I'm saying in general. And you can tell by the tone and the feeling of the statement that you make. So you want to avoid words like, I'll try. I'll try to show up for your party. I'll try to come here to this event. I'll try to finish this project. I'll try. You don't have the confidence. It's saying, I'm not confident, I'm not certain, and I'm going to try to do something. There's an old saying, trying is lying. And so you want to avoid or minimize using that word, because what it reinforces is powerlessness. It reinforces the disempowered self. And instead you want to say, I will or I won't. I will do this or I won't do this. But you can't really try. Like, let's say, my glasses are down here on the desk. I don't know if you can see my glasses here. See? Well, they're sitting on my desk. Now I'm going to say, I'm going to try to pick them up. What does that mean? I'm not going to try to pick them up. I'm either going to pick them up or I'm not going to pick them up. I'm not going to try. And so you want to eliminate the word try. Or I hope it works out. I hope for the best. I hope. Well, hope is a beautiful word and a powerful resource of energy to feel hope. But when you're using it as a hopeful, I hope this will happen, it says, I don't know. I have no power over it. It's beyond my will. It's beyond my ability. and I'm going to feel somehow that it's in the fate of the gods that to determine whether this happens or not. So the word hope, or we'll see what happens. Well, who creates your reality? You do, or life? And when you say we'll see, you're saying I'm not going to make a choice and decision. I'm not going to take responsibility. I'm not going to work on creating what I want. I'm going to hope for the best and we'll see what happens. Those are disempowering words. So you, not that you don't have to ever use them. Don't get me wrong here. But if you're saying it all the time, I'll try, I hope, I will see. If you're in that habituated form, you're in a limited scope of consciousness of being and feeling disempowered, and you want to change that. You want to avoid those words. Or I wish this would happen. I'm trying to get a new job. Instead of saying I'm trying to get a new job, say I'm attracting a new job. That's a lot different, isn't it? I'm attracting a new job says I take responsibility for it and I'm sending my energy out there to create it. Where I'll try. See the difference? The energy? I hope to get a good night. I hope to fall asleep tonight. I hope I'll fall asleep tonight. How about I'm learning to fall asleep at night? I'm learning to get a better night's sleep. I'm achieving a better night's sleep tonight. Those are different words than I hope. Let's see what happens. We'll see if I get a good night's sleep in the morning. No, I'm going to decide now that tonight I'm going to get an amazing restful sleep. I'm going to rejuvenate during the night. And I'm not going to give my subconscious mind the message of what I don't want. Because you see, your subconscious mind does not judge. It either accepts or rejects. It will not judge. And so, when you can be conscious of these words, the magic of words, whether you think them as thoughts or whether you manifest those words as expressions of sound, you need to be conscious to change them, and that will help to update your mental software. And now that you're aware of this, and now that you know these words and these conditionings of my or mine, or you're not using juicy words, or you're using swear words to intensify what you don't want, you can shift and change that. And when you're going to fall into the old traps, the old programmings, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. But when you find yourself, stop and say, oh, no, there's a better way to think that. There's a better way to say that. And I'm going to improve and update my mental software. I'm going to cancel that thought that I just had by saying the words either silently or out loud. Cancel, or void. And then replace it immediately with the new statement, the positive statement, the juicy statement, the ownership statement that allows you to be more free. So avoiding words such as try or hope or wish or we'll see are all things that reinforce the victim inside of us, the part that doesn't feel powerful, the disempowered self. So you want to be able to change your relationship to the way you speak, to change your relationship to the way you think. And when you change your relationship to them and you are consistent, you will create a better reality. You will shift and change those beliefs and alter and expand the attitude about you and how you relate to yourself, how you relate to other people, because you're going to start to attract different people, and also your relationship to the world at large. So we got a little bit more to talk about 3 magic words. And in order to do that, I want to hold on just a second. I gotta move this around. I know. There we go. So what I want to talk about next is something that is also very, very valuable to consider, to look at, to propose, if you'd like. Hold on a second. There we go. That I want to share with you. The 3 magic words. So let's say and think about when you were an infant, when you were just a little tiny infant or a very, very young child, when you wanted something, you adored attention. You wanted the attention. You needed attention as a child to grow, to evolve, to become more. And you wanted attention. Little children, Mommy, Daddy, watch me jump into the swimming pool. Mommy, Daddy, watch me do this. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. They weren't shy. They weren't saying, oh, I don't deserve attention. But they are full of life and spirit and aliveness and deservability. They know that they deserve love and attention. They don't question whether they deserve to have a nap or whether they, need enough food. They know, yes, I deserve. I'm a spiritual being. I am worthy. I have always been worthy in their consciousness up until a point when you give that away, when you give your power away. And same with puppies or kittens. Little puppies and kittens love to be adored and held, and they get all excited, and they jump on your lap, and they just want to kiss and love and be so full of passionate love and joy. They just so full of unbridled love. That's their energy. That's their nature. And you had that same nature when you were young. And then something happened in the terrible twos when you started to explore and you recognize and realize you're separate from your mother and that you have your own identity, your own curiosity. Then you started to explore. And that's usually when the conditioning of negativity begins. When your mother says, stop it, don't do that, get out of there, who do you think you are? Your little subconscious mind is starting to say, what's wrong? There must be something wrong with me. Right? It's not going to say, oh, something's wrong with mother, she needs to go take a nap and have therapy. You're too young, and that would scare you too much to know the two people, your parents, that you count on are somehow defective. So instead, to make it palatable, to make it so that you can be confident and secure enough in life, you turned it against yourself. There must be something wrong with me. Because if there's something wrong with me, I can fix it. But if there's something wrong with my parents, then I'm always going to be anxious and scared. So we adopt a lie. We get told a lie. And that lie is, there's something wrong. You're so, like I said, my client's father said, you're my stupid child. You're my stupid child. That impressed upon her consciousness, and she has spent her whole life trying to fight against that and to prove herself. And that's her anxiety. But likewise, when you can recognize that there is a feeling, an attitude, and a belief that is holding in place a feeling. And this, hold on just a second. My screen just went dead. I want to make sure this isn't. Hold on. There we go. My screen just went into sleep mode, and I didn't want to end the stream by not knowing that. So I apologize. So your beliefs and attitudes, which is the boundaries from your thoughts and your feelings. There are 3 magic words that you can learn, that you need to untrain the lie that you bought into, that you believed from the age of 2 or 3 about yourself. Because prior to that, you knew you deserved. You knew you enjoyed life, and you deserved everything. You had no guilt, no shame. You wanted something, you'd cry, and it would come running with a bottle, with a diaper, with whatever. Your needs were met. You knew. And you were confident, 100% confident in your worth and your value. And then in the terrible 2, something happened where you were given messages repeatedly most of the time by either parents or some kind of influential adult that was taking care of you, a caretaker, teacher, whatever, that told you a lie. And it's a lie that you clung to and bought into because it made sense at the time. Made sense of these feelings that you were starting to feel, and it made sense of the behavior that you were doing. So you clung to this lie that I'm not enough. I'm flawed. I'm defective. I'm stupid. I'm less than. I'm shy. I'm unworthy. And you claimed it as the underpinning of your identification in this life. And it's your challenge to shift and change that belief and attitude that is so charged and is such a part of the human condition. I've worked with clients for many years, and just this one shift in their awareness to change and to update their software from I'm not enough to I am enough. I am enough. Now you can get those words and be aware of that. You can be aware of what I'm saying. Yeah, Mikhail, that makes sense. Yeah, I get it. But that's just awareness. That's not enough to change your reality. And then you need to understand it. How does this fit? Yes, I learned this in childhood, and I believed a lie about myself, and I've lived it out, and I've used it as motivation, perhaps to prove the opposite, or perhaps I gave into it and said, okay, I'm just going to be a loser in life and just get through life and not do anything. Most people on here listening wouldn't be in that condition, in that space, because you're wanting to improve yourself, you're wanting to grow, you're wanting to evolve. I don't attract those kind of people for the most part. So as you're listening to this, it's more about you've been rebelling, but it's been your underlying fear that it's somehow true, that this lie was somehow true, and it never has been. So the three most powerful words is I am enough. Notice I didn't say I am good enough, because good is a judgment, good and bad. No, I am enough. I am secure enough. I am creative enough. I am productive enough. I am loving enough. I'm esteeming enough. I'm resourceful enough. I am enough. When you can take that from an awareness to not only an understanding, but then to integrate it into your consciousness, to make it a part of your beliefs and attitudes, the way you live your life, the way you perceive yourself, your relationship to yourself, I am enough, and to believe it's true, because it has always been true. As I said, as an infant, as a child, you knew you were enough. Puppies and kittens know they're enough, and unless somebody comes along and slaps them along, and then they go hide and retreat out of self-preservation. And that's what happened to you. Out of self-preservation, you believed a lie. To conform, to fit in, and that lie has rippled out to create the disempowered life. Now you might be super successful and have all this stuff going on in your life, and on the surface it appears that, hey, I've got it going on, but you've been using the springboard, the motivation to try to prove to them that they're wrong, to create that illusion of success. But deep down, when the curtains are drawn and you're by yourself and you're wondering why you're depressed, why you're anxious, why there's this emptiness inside of you, it's because I've been trying to make a lie my truth. I've been trying to take something that was never true and identify with it, to create reality from it, or to try to avoid it, to try to do the opposite. But it's still controlling you either way. It's still influencing you either way. So the feeling of I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not valuable enough, I don't belong enough, I'm flawed, I'm defective, I'm stupid, I'm wrong, is a fundamental belief. It is the core and foundation of an attitude that leads you, as you grow, as you evolve, to the dark night of your soul, where you feel there's something missing in me, there's something void, there's an emptiness inside of me. And I'm not enough is from the ego. The ego believes the lie. Your soul and spirit knows the truth, but your ego believes a lie, that you're somehow inadequate, insufficient, flawed, defective. And that is in the mental software that lies dormant, influencing you in everything you do, influencing you in everything you attract, creating so much influence. But it's there, dormant, meaning I'm not aware of it until you expose it, till you shed a light into the dark recesses of your mind and tell yourself that that is a lie. A goddamn lie I've been living, and I need to change it. And I use that word to intensify the desire to change it. I've been living a lie, and I need to recognize, acknowledge, and tell myself the truth, that I have believed something that is not true, that my parents gave to me, and their parents gave to them, and their parents' parents gave to them, and their parent is a feeling of inadequacy, a feeling of unworthiness called shame. And shame gets passed down from generation to generation, and at the basis of all shame is a thought and a feeling, a belief and an attitude that I'm somehow not enough. I'm somehow flawed and defective, and thus my motivation in life stems out of trying to make up for that. It is at the core and the foundation of every addiction is the feeling that I'm not enough. People that are shoppers, they go out and hoard and buy all this stuff to try to fill this void. It's at the core of most depression, of why bother, a lack of motivation, of hopelessness and despair is this core, is this feeling, I'm not enough. It is so insidious and so important to unplug and to change and to tell yourself the truth, to recognize, acknowledge, just like my client did by realizing her father told her this and she's been believing it, and I got to change that. I got to take my power back from him. I need to give him back that statement and retrieve the innocence that, and tell myself the truth that I am brilliant and creative. I'm a powerful, empowered spiritual being. That's the truth. And you knew that as an infant, as a young child, and that was taken away from you. And you can retrieve it and take it back. And understand something here. It wasn't like, oh, I wasted my life by believing a lie. No, you needed to learn lessons from believing that. You attracted parents to make sure that you got the lesson for whatever reason that your soul said you needed to learn to love yourself in this lifetime. And these were conflicts in your consciousness from previous existences, from previous belief systems that you need to change. And you committed to doing that in this life. And therefore you attracted and created certain parents that were going to make sure that you felt that pain of not being enough in that specific arena, the way you uniquely expressed it in this lifetime. So all insecurities stem from that feeling of I'm not enough. And that's why people overspend, they overdrink, they overeat, they overwork to try to compensate, to make up for. They overshop, they overspend, and they are trying to fill the emptiness that belief and attitude that is a lie, that your ego has clung to, has created. And so, Mikhail, well, how do I change it? Well, you need to shift it from I am enough into I am enough. I am creative enough, resourceful enough, secure enough, loving enough, confident enough. I am enough. Not better than, not superior to other people, not I'm good enough, but I am enough. I am creative enough, loving enough, intelligent enough to rest upon the truth of who you are. And when you say it that way, I am enough, and I can become more. I can grow and experience it out of the joy of becoming more, out of the joy of evolving, out of the joy of growing, but not out of the compensation to make up for this lie that I've been pretending is true. It's never been true. And so, all insecurity. So how do we begin to reverse and change this? As you work on managing your mind by being conscious of the words you either think or that you speak, canceling out the negative ones, listening and taking ownership of what you do want and not taking ownership of the things you don't want. Don't talk about my pain or my illness. Say, no, I'm experiencing an illness in my body. I'm experiencing pain in my body. I'm not claiming it. As you can shift that, as you can intensify with positive words, that you are super successful, that you are fantastically loving, that you are incredibly confident, to use words that charge and get the subconscious mind engaged. As you can avoid words like wish or hope or we'll see or maybe one day or excuse me, those limiting, powerless words. As you can do that, the foundation from which these changes need to rest upon is an attitude and a belief that genders and fortifies and supports the thoughts and feelings of the truth of I am enough. You see, a lot of people say, oh my gosh, Mikhail, I've spent 30, 40, 50, 60 years believing these lies and this negativity about myself. But you know what the good news is? When you shift and change it to the truth, what the truth is, you are powerful. The truth is is very positive. Positive and truth, energy of truth and positivity is so much more powerful to create change than all the trying to convince yourself of a lie that you've been living. And so when you start to shift and change it to I am enough, and I am going to create what I do want, and I'm going to focus on words, my and mine, that are positive about my confidence, my security, my love, my creativity, owning things that I want to create and letting go of those things that I don't want to create. When I can focus on I am enough and feel it, not just think it and intellectualize it. Okay, Mikhail, I understand. Yeah, I got it. No, feel it into the very depth and the DNA of your being, to feel it in the very core, in the very essence. And when you can own it and feel it and start to experience it, your energy, your health and well-being, your vitality, your soul and spirit rejoice. And as they rejoice, they expand, and they create magic and miracles in your life. So it doesn't have to take a long time. But I am going to give you some ways to accelerate and reinforce it, these techniques. Well, let me share with you some techniques to help reinforce and accelerate this updating of your mental software. The first one is you want to repeat, getting a little hand mirror and look into your eyes, look into this mirror, look into your eyes and tell yourself, I am enough. I am secure enough, creative enough, loving enough, whatever it is that you want to own and make a part of you. Look into your eyes and notice the feelings that come up. What feelings come up? There might be feelings of guilt, there might be feelings of shame, and it might be a part of you, the child in you, that gets triggered. But you start by looking at yourself and telling yourself the truth. The truth shall set you free. Remember, you've heard that statement, but you got to tell yourself the truth. You've been telling yourself a lie your entire life, that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy enough, that you got to hide and pretend and make sure nobody sees it by being super successful and hiding behind a facade, but deep down feeling empty and this void that you overspend, overeat, overdo whatever to try to make up for. All of that can change. But nothing changes until you change your consciousness. Nothing changes until you change your mind. And that's what I'm teaching you to do. So look into that mirror and see what comes up for you. And then look into your eyes and say, I love you. I'm learning. And if that's difficult to say I love you, then I like you. Or I'm learning to like you. Or I'm learning to love you. Depending on where you are and the conditioning of the negative lie, it's going to bring up and engender some of those feelings that this is challenging for you. So look into your eyes, tell yourself the truth. And I'm learning to love myself. I'm learning to value myself. I approve of myself is a powerful way. I love and approve of myself. I love and approve of myself. I am enough. I love and approve of myself. I am enough. I love and approve of myself. To say that as you go to sleep at night, to think it, to feel it. How would my life be different? How would I operate in that job interview? How would I operate with my friends? How would I function at social events? Knowing that I am lovable. Knowing that I am worthy of receiving love. Knowing that I am enough. How different. Start to imagine that. Start to engage and start to feel the truth. To update the mental software. So that's another technique, is the mirror work that you can do, looking into your eyes. The second one is as you go to sleep at night, to tell yourself that. And then in the morning, first thing in the morning, set the program. Double tap on that icon, I am enough. First thing in the morning, I am secure enough today. I have enough resources today. I am enough. I am enough. To tap into that just for today. I have enough today. I have enough creativity, enough resources, enough money, enough whatever. To tell yourself that in the morning and function from that enoughness as you go throughout your day. Now, a little tip to reinforce this is, on your phone, you have reminders. If you have a smartphone, there's usually notes or reminders or daily to-do list. You can add I am enough as a reminder that pops up on your screen first thing in the morning, around noon in the afternoon, and later in the afternoon, perhaps in the evening. So you can have these little reminders pop up. I am lovable, or I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. Just to remind yourself, oh yeah, that's right. I am enough. I need to reinforce it, because that positive statement can eliminate years of believing you're not enough, but you have to give it some juice. You have to think and feel. And why it's important to shift that, and you don't need to use juicy words here. Remember I said there's an exception about using juicy words, because when you were a little child, you didn't use juicy words when you believed I'm not enough. I'm somehow flawed and defective. I'm not good enough. I'm somehow insufficient. So I am sufficient is the way to change that belief, using the similar context that you had from the childhood. You don't want to say, I'm incredibly, powerfully sufficient. That doesn't change that core belief. This is a core belief. Now, it works for changing your thoughts and impregnating your subconscious mind with the changes you desire. But on this core belief, you want to just keep it very simple. I am enough. I am lovable. I approve of myself. I love myself. Those very simple statements form a foundation. of reprogramming and updating your consciousness. And it influences the attitude about you and the way you live in the world, about your beliefs about yourself, and about the changes that you desire. So I am enough, 3 magic words that you once knew as an infant, as a child, that you once felt the deservability, the confidence, and you gave it up. You believed a lie, and you can take your power back. Now, another technique is if you discover that the limiting belief you hold was from a school teacher that told you were stupid, or from a parent that said you'll never amount to anything, or whatever. The second, or the next technique, this technique, is about going back and taking your power back from that authority figure, whoever it was, your child that was you once were, believed a lie from this authority figure. You, the adult, you, the grown-up, can go back and take your power back. I'm taking my power back from my father who told me this lie, and I believed it. I bought it hook, line, and sinker, and I've been living it out and playing it out, or trying to react against it to make up for it my entire life, and I'm exhausted, I'm depleted, I want to stop. Tell myself the truth. Forgive, hear that, forgive him, her. Forgive the authority figure. Forgiveness sets you free. Taking your power back, forgiving them, taking your innocence back, perhaps even sensing the child in you that was once free and lovable and desirable and knew that they deserved to reclaim your innocence, is another way to reinforce the mental, emotional software that you're wanting to update. And then the final one, the final technique, is then to create a relationship with your empowered future self. To create a relationship with your empowered future self, who knows their value and worth, who knows their deservability, that knows and lives it day in and day out. That empowered future self is something that you have out there as a possibility for the future. You have many different possible futures. They're all out there. But if you're focusing only on the negative futures of same old mediocrity, let me keep recreating the past, then that's what you're going to focus and engender. But if you can expand, and that's why I have you imagine what your life would be like at parties and events and in job interviews, knowing that you're enough, to expand the possibilities, and then to connect and to sense, to create a future that is not only empowered, but knows that they're enough, and that has updated their mental software. That future self that is updated and is living the dream, living your dreams and your desires that you've always wanted and longed for, but this underlying self-sabotaging lie has kept you from creating. To sense that future and to connect with it. As you go to sleep at night, you can imagine that future self. You don't have to see, did I lose the 20 pounds? Did I, whatever, age gracefully? You don't worry about the form. But sense their presence, their energy. Sense their aliveness, their vitality. Sense their enoughness, their confidence, their love, their esteem, their respect that they have and hold, their self-acceptance, and their self-empowerment. To sense that about them. I teach a 8-week course on becoming your empowered self. And each week there's a step towards expanding and reclaiming the truth of who you are, which is a powerful, majestic spiritual being. I just finished it in the spring of this year, and it's going to open up for registration in August. That's coming up in the next month, and that will be starting. The course starts in September, Labor Day weekend, for 8 weeks. And if you're interested in that, you can see information below. But for now, just know that there is this empowered destiny, and you get to decide which future I'm going to experience and create. Am I going to let my ego continue at the helm of the wheel of my life, guiding me towards mediocrity at best, or self-destruction at worst? Am I going to let my ego take the wheel, or am I going to take over that wheel and tell myself the truth that my ego's been believing a lie about me, and I'm taking my power back? I'm updating my software. I'm going to change and shift the words that I think, the words that I speak, and I'm going to claim what is true about me. And I'm going to avoid the words of the victim. And I'm going to know and function and feel the simple truth that you've always been and that you have forgotten that you are enough. You are a powerful and majestic spiritual being, so much so that you could create a reality to conform to your belief that you're not enough and you're flawed and you're disempowered. You believe you can create a reality to conform to that. That's how powerful you are. It wasn't by chance it happened. It was by belief, choice, attitude, beliefs, thoughts, and feelings that formulated the reality and existence that you have experienced. So thank you for your time, for your attention. It's been an hour, and I hope you got some value from today. I know it was fun sharing these ideas. These are pivotal changes that you can make, not only to update your mental emotional software, but to create positive and permanent change in your life. And I thank you. I wanted to be able to chat on here. Oh, I do see a chat. Hold on a second. Thank you, Nancy. I do see chats on here, and you're on YouTube, I think. Yeah, this is a new software, so I'm getting used to it, and I had problems this morning getting it connected to my Facebook group, and also I don't even know. Are you on, Nancy? Are you on my Facebook group by chance? All right. I'm just excited that this software works. So please forgive me, folks, for trying out this new software and not quite knowing how to make everything work the way I wanted it to. But know that in the future, these live events are going to be a little bit more polished. I'll have a little bit more. I'll be able to show screens. I'll be able to show slides on here, and I'll be able to interact and chat a little bit more. But I'm setting the stage now, and so I just wanted to thank you for your time, for your attention, and for your love. And I look forward to connecting with you in the near future. I'll be doing more of these live events on YouTube. If you're following me on YouTube, oh great, it's on both. It's so funny because when I look at my screen, it just shows like a fuzzy screen on my Facebook Live. So I'm like, oh, I hope it's showing up there. So thanks for the feedback, Nancy. You're the best. I appreciate it. I was concerned about that. So I couldn't see questions, so I couldn't answer. This was not really a Q&A. But if anybody does have any questions, you can email me. And let me give you the email address. And then I'll be happy to answer those in either the next talk. Hold on just a second. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. That looks right. So yeah, I'm excited about this new software, and I'm also excited about the course I'll be launching in September. And again, the registration opens up on August 1st, and it's an 8-week program, which actually turns into a 10-week program because I give 2 break weeks, catch-up weeks, or integration weeks is the word I want to use, the integration weeks. So those will be coming up in the fall. But for now, I want to thank you. I hope you got some value. If you have any questions, email me. I just posted my email address. It's Mikhail@Soul-utions.com. And I'm excited that this worked. To be quite frank with you, I thought it was working on YouTube, but I didn't think it was working on Facebook Live. And I thought, well, I'm just going to record it and go with it. Since I couldn't see questions, I kind of just shared what I believe is a powerful way to not only upgrade your mental and emotional software, but to begin to align with the empowered destiny of your soul and spirit that you have chosen and you yearn for, not only creating in your mind, in your imagination, but manifesting it into the physical reality, and to become an inspiration for others to do the same. So thank you, folks, for joining. I hope you got some value from today. And I'm going to be doing more of these because I love teaching and I love sharing these ideas. So again, thank you, and I look forward to connecting in the near future. Bye for now.